Students, in today's class we are going to see 8255 mode 1 operation under IO mode of operation. So in this we are going to see the IO mode and its characteristics in mode 1, which is nothing but strobed IO. So under IO mode of operation in mode 1 is nothing but a simple IO for port A and port B, whereas port C will be having a interrupt and handshaking signal. So the functional configuration provides a means of transferring the data from your IO to or from a specified port in conjunction with your strobe or handshaking signal. So according to mode 1, your mode 1 is going to, as we all know that 8255 has three ports, that is port A, port B and port C. Port C has two things, one is port C upper, another one is port C lower. Port A can be operated as IO port. Port B also can be operated as IO port, whereas port C is mainly meant for handling your interrupt and handshaking signal. So in the previous class we have discussed what is meant by a handshaking signal. Therefore, in this mode of operation, it transfers the data, IO data, to or from a specific port in conjunction with the strobe or handshaking signal. This strobe or handshaking signal is available from your port C. Next one is your, in mode 1, as we discussed, port A and port B is going to use the IO lines, whereas port C will generate or accept these handshaking signals. In this mode, the handshaking signal will control the input and output action of the specified port, because here we are going to use both port A as well as port B. So when you are using handshaking signal in this mode of operation, your input and output action of a specific port, either it could be your port A or it could be your port B, both could be controlled. And port C will drive the strobe or handshaking signal. As we know, there are two ways of communication. One is your strobe communication and other one is your handshaking communication. In case of strobe communication, we will have only one control signal, whereas in case of handshake communication, we have two control signals. Therefore, the strobe communication frames like a half duplex communication, whereas handshaking signal will provide a full duplex way of communication. The port C lines PC0 to PC2 will provide the strobe or handshaking signal. So PC0 to PC7 will provide handshaking or strobe signal, and to port B, whereas PC3 to PC5 will provide the strobe or handshaking signal to port A, because as we know from the functional block description, we know that port A and port C upper are controlled by group A. Port B and port C lower are controlled by group B. Okay, that is why your lower, that is PCL is issuing a strobe or handshaking signal to port B, and PCU, that is port C upper, is issuing a handshaking or strobe signal to port A. Anyway, both the ports input and output action is controlled on as a whole with the help of your port C upper and port C lower of the respective ports. Next, port C is mainly utilized to generate your handshaking signal. This is the basic key points of IO mode of operation, and the features of mode 1 are two groups you have. One is group A and another one is group B. Group A is controlling your port A and port C upper, whereas group B is controlling your port B and port C lower. And both of them will act as a port A and port B. Port A and port B will act as a 8-bit port, whereas port C upper is having 4-bit and port C lower is having another 4 bit. So these are all the two groups that the group is getting control. And the 8-bit port, all the 3 ports are 8-bit port. The 4-bit port is used for control and status of your 8-bit port. And it was already discussed, which is going to issue a handshaking signal to port A. For example, your handshaking signal, your port C upper will issue a handshaking or strobe signal to port A, whereas port C lower will issue a handshaking signal or strobe signal to port B. It is the mode 1 control status word, that is where we will be framing the control word. As we discussed, the D7 bit, whatever it is shown at this particular point, it will define the modes of operation. If you are going to give 0 in this particular bit, it is going to operate it with BSR mode. If you give 1 over here, it is going to operate it with IO mode of operation. Since we are going to use mode 1, you can give the D7 bit status to be 1. So it is your D0 bit, D1, D0 bit, D1, D2, D3, D4, D5, D6, D7. It is your input configuration. So input configuration means there should be one buffer for storing your data and one interrupt acknowledgement and one interrupt enable needs to be there. Since this is going to your input configuration, that is only your port A and port B are going to act as an input port, you will have the control signals like interrupt, input buffer full and interrupt enable for your port B and port A. So this first 3 bits is for port B and the next 3 bits is for port A. This interrupt will say that the data is ready for transmission. IBF means input buffer full. Input buffer full will indicate whether the data has been received or not. Interrupt enable means all your interrupts will be enabled as soon as it starts to transmit a word or transmit a byte of instruction. Next is your, it is for your control bit B. These 3 bits D3 to D5, it stands for your port A. Under this interrupt signal for A, interrupt enable and IBF. IBF is your input buffer full. So it is for group B control and this is for your group A control, which will define the modes of operation as shown over here. So here the modes of operation is shown. In this port A, PA0 to PA7, whatever it is shown over here, PA0 to PA7, it will define your port to be as an input port. Same thing PB0 to PB7, it is defined as an input port. Why? Because it is your input configuration. So we are going to focus only on the input port. Then strobe signal, input buffer full and interrupt. These 3 signal is a common signal for port C upper and port C lower. Whether you are going to control your port A or port B, the 3 signals are going to be common. Strobe is a input signal that is saying that the data is ready for transmission. Input buffer full will be an output signal. Once the strobe signal is received, then it starts to transmit the data. Once the data is transmitted and it is accumulated in your IBF, then it is going to say, it is just like an acknowledgement signal. Next one, strobe, it is an active low signal and moreover the low on this particular line will load the data available on the 8-bit port and to the input latch. Then IBF. IBF is nothing but it is an active high signal. It indicates that the data has been loaded into the input latch. It is just like your input buffer. This is just like your input buffer, that is S buffer, which we have seen in the serial communication. So when the data has been latched onto when the data is already latched, then the input buffer will be high. So this will define by the being low, and it is reset by the rising edge of your read signal input. Then interrupt enable, it is controlled by bit set reset of your PC4, because INT stands for interrupt, E stands for enable, the suffix A belongs to group A control. So it is controlled by bit set reset of port PC4. It is your input control definition. And next is your INTR, interrupt request. Interrupt request is the one where the CPU is requesting the input device high on this input. Suppose if you are having 1 at this particular point, if this particular pin is equal to 1, then it is used to interrupt the CPU. We are requesting for one more data transfer, stating that one data is ready, so kindly accept the data. So it is requesting the CPU whenever your input device is ready. This is the meaning for this interrupt request. Next one, INTR, it is said either by strobe input or it by input buffer full. Strobe input in the sense when data is ready for communication, the strobe input will be active low. Once the data is latched onto the IO device, then IBF will be high. Based on this, it is set, this INTR is set either by IBF or it will be set by STP. And also the control word register INTEA, that is interrupt enable, PC4 or PC2 for your group B, will be controlled in BSR mode of operation, and basically it is set or reset at the falling edge of your read signal. Then this procedure will allow an input device to request the service from your CPU, stating that the strobing its data at the output. And output configuration, so same like that of your input configuration in IO mode, here we have a output configuration where we need to focus on two things. One is your output buffer full, interrupt enable and interrupt request are going to act for the it is going to carry the same definition. So the data bits for output configuration is as shown here. Then the first 3 bits D0 to D2 is going to have a group B control. From D3 to D7 it is going to have a group A control. The bit configuration of output bit configuration of 8255 in IO mode 1 is shown over here. Here also, since it is output, you could see here the arrow marks shown here, PA0 to PA7 and PB0 to PB7. So the arrow mark is just outside because it is the output configuration. When your output data is latched, then OBF, that is output buffer full, is enabled, and acknowledgement is, since once the output buffer full is received, then it issues an acknowledgement signal to your 8255 stating that already the data has been received and the output buffer is full, so that when the next data comes, before that this data can be loaded onto your output buffer register. It is just like your memory storing your data, whatever it is coming onto from your transmitting channel. So it is the functional block diagram which we have already discussed, and why I have taken this one in the sense, to write a program in mode 1 you need all these configurations. So in the next class, in the next program I'll show. So in this output configuration description, what is meant by output buffer full? Already we have discussed what is meant by output buffer full. It will be when the output data is latched, it goes high. Once the data is latched, it will give an acknowledgement signal, and interrupt request is the signal whenever the data is requesting, whenever the peripheral is requesting for the CPU. INTA, it is the interrupt enable. It is set or reset by the bit set reset mode of PC6. INTB in the sense it is controlled by set and reset mode, that is BSR mode, PC2. So in the next class we will be seeing the programs, how to write the programs using this IO mode of operation. Thank you students.